Mike Warren is the expert at showing you how to double your business in 6 months while working 50% less. Can I give you my number, Mike? Mike is a venture capitalist and 7-time best-selling author. Through his private equity group, he buys, grows, and sells companies and teaches others how to copy what he does. If you are ready to stop thinking small and think really big instead, then you are absolutely going to love what Mike will share with you today here on this stage. We have a short little video about Mike that will show you a little more about him. Let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Kevin Harrington, one of the original sharks from the hit TV show Shark Tank. My business associate, Mike Warren, is an international business maverick and has a #1 best-selling book out of the market. He works with companies around the world in taking their profits to the next level using proven and repeatable systems. When the business owners are stuck and they need help getting to the next level, they reach out to Mike for advice, connections, resources, and ultimately success. Well, Mike's training on buying companies is one of the best in the world.
Opportunities don't go away. They just go to somebody else.
You never quit your job until you have at least doubled your salary. Imagine that, quitting your job and owning a business that throws off enough cash for you to live your life the way you want, to follow your passion, to take care of your family, the way you've always wanted to, the life that you deserve. It all starts with controlling your own life, and it's about living your dream instead of someone else's dream. It's about owning a business that makes you rich instead of working for someone else to make them rich.
Hi. Let me ask you a quick question. How many of you would like to double your business and work 50% less? Yeah. Okay. So my experience has been, though, that most people think too small. What I mean by that is you think about growing your business, and how many of you think that doubling your business in 6 months would realistically be kind of hard? Come on, give me some honest feedback. It'd be kind of hard, right? Well, one of the things I want to share with you today is a shortcut to doing it. Most people think I have to get more customers, I have to get better conversion on my websites, I have to do all these different things to grow my business. The reality is it's much faster to double your business by going out and buying your competitor. That's what I want to share with you today is thinking about, rather than trying to grow your own business, why not buy your competitor, buy all of their customer lists, buy all their technology, buy all their relationships. And by the way, while it does take money to buy a business, it doesn't require any of your money. That's what I'm going to share with you today. How many of you would like to buy your competitor? Or what if you could buy a 7-figure business that doesn't require your cash, it does require cash, but it's not yours, and you use that money to fund your existing business? Who would be interested in that? Okay, so that's about what I'm going to, or that's what I'm going to share with you today. So I own a couple of different private equity companies, and our goal is we go out, we buy, we grow, and we resell companies. That's our whole model. And I do this business because it allows me to do some things that are very important to me. So just to give you a little background about me real fast. My most important thing is my family. That's my daughter Holly there in the upper left, and that's my son Bryce. They're actually on the red carpet at the Cannes Film Festival. So my son was actually, he had his first short film shown at the Cannes Film Festival last year. How many of you think that's pretty cool? By the way, I know he told me not to do this, but that's him back there with the camera filming for me, so I got him actually come out to Vegas, so it's pretty cool. So I'm really happy about that. And so family is first, but the other thing that's important to me is giving back. One of the things I realize is there's no amount of money in the world that makes the world a better place other than giving back to somebody else. I want to make the world a better place tomorrow than when I was in it today. And that means I have to serve others first. And so I'm a big proponent of Doctors Without Borders, also a nonprofit organization called Boots to Suits. Now, Boots to Suits helps military veterans all across the world coming out of the military get into business ownership. I'm a vet. Do I have any other vets in here? Any veterans? Got a couple of you, so thank you very much for your service. I appreciate that. And the other thing is, by being in this field of private equity and venture capital, it's given me the opportunity to spend some time with some pretty cool people like Richard Branson. That's me actually coming out of Trump's helicopter before he was president. Now, I just want to make a point and ask a question. How many of you think that, regardless of political leanings, how many of you think that Trump, prior to president, was a good businessman? He really was, right? So that's me before he went on there. I can hang out with some cool people like Kevin Harrington, Shark Tank, Steve Wozniak. I'm on the cover of a couple different magazines, but that's just me. What I want to share with you is how it's important for what we're talking about. Has anybody ever read Rich Dad, Poor Dad? I know we have Sharon in the back. And one of the things I think is really important, I'm a big proponent of it. I remember reading that when I was in my 20s. And you have 4 quadrants. You have your employee, you have your self-employed, you have your business owner, you have your investor. And what I like is that most people will start out as employee, they go to self-employed, they start their own company, and they eventually turn it into a business that can run without them, and they ultimately want to get to the investor category where your investments make money for you. Most people are stuck between self-employed and business owner. What I want to share with you today is how you can immediately jump right to business owner, which throws off enough cash so that you can actually be an investor. Just by a round of applause, who would like to ultimately become an investor, where your money works for you rather than you working for money? And we're in the right room. So there's a couple things I want to share with you, right? One is why business is about 100 times better than traditional investing, including real estate. I've done a lot of real estate. What I like about buying and investing in companies is I can essentially add 1 or 2 zeros to the deal, as opposed to what I would get with traditional investing. You can gain access to funding. It's not hard. What I'm going to do, I think the easiest thing to show you is to show you actual deals that we've done and that we're actually doing right now. So we'll go through the numbers. Would that be helpful to anybody so you can actually see the math and how the process works? Right, so I'm seeing a lot of heads now. The other thing that I like most about buying businesses is that I don't have to work in the company. I think this is very important. I want a lifestyle. I do not want a job. I don't want a job. I want a lifestyle, which means I need something that's going to throw off enough money for me so that I can do the things I want, when I want, with the people that are important to me, as opposed to always having to go out and chase a paycheck. This is a different attitude. I think most of us would like to have that in our lives, where you have cash coming in, whether you show up to work or not. Meaning you're on vacation, you're still getting paid. You're doing another deal, you're still getting paid from multiple different deals. And this is the model that I like to follow. And I'm also going to show you 3 different ways, or 3 secrets rather, how to get multiple 6-figure salaries from different businesses that you buy without using your own cash or credit. And this is very important. We structure it very creatively. And I think the easiest way to start this is to walk you through the model. Who here has ever watched any of the house flipping shows on TV? Anybody? Okay, so I'm seeing lots of hands go up. What they don't show you on those house flipping shows is all the money that actually went into the house, and all the expenses are not showing you. And really what you look at, for instance, I was just watching it last night, one of the house flipping shows, and they made an offer of $450,000 in cash, all cash, in 5 days. So they're taking cash out of their pocket, put it in the house, they put another $180,000 in renovations in the property, trying to sell that property for $680,000. There's almost no money left when you take into account all of that financial risk. But I want to make this very simple. We're going to go through house flip versus business flip, and I'll show you what we do in a nutshell. So let's say you take a small house, and it's a $100,000 house. You can buy houses today, just like I did back in a long time ago. I won't say how old I am, but when I first started, you can buy houses, no money down then, and you can now. So let's say we buy a $100,000 house. We put no money down into buying the property. We renovate the property. We turn around, we lease it out, we rent it. And we make about $200 a month in positive cash flow. And then 3 years down the road, we sell the property for, let's say, $130,000. It's appreciated in value. And our total cash flow of $200 a month times 12 months over that same 3-year period is about $7,200 in positive cash flow. So we take the $130,000 we have in cash, we subtract out the $100,000 we bought it for, because we still have to pay that off. We have a $30,000 profit, plus the $7,200 in cash flow. It means we made $37,200 on that one house. Now, for most investors, that's a pretty good number. That's why a lot of people get involved in real estate investing. Now let's compare this against business flipping, or business acquisitions. My model, and by the way, let me give you some specific math. I look for businesses about $1 million to $3 million. You might want to write this stuff down. $1 $1 million to $3 million, I want that business to make about 30% profit. So on $1 million business, 30% profit is about $300,000. So divide that by 12, you now have $25,000 a month in positive cash flow. Now our model is we go into every company, we use some very specific strategies that we go in every company and we triple the profit of the business. We typically do that in about 3 years or less. So we triple the profit. So let's look at that, right? If we sell the business for $3 million 3 years from now, we have $25,000 a month in cash flow times 12 months times 3 years, that same 3-year period like real estate. We have $900,000 in positive cash flow. Add that to the, subtract out rather the $1 million from the $3 million we bought it for, that gives us $2 million net profit plus the cash flow. We're at $2,900,000. Another way of looking at it is we make $2,860,000 more for the house in the same amount of time. Or another way of looking at it even is that the average real estate investor will have to do 97 houses to make the same amount of money. The challenge is most investors are never going to do 97 houses. It's just way too much effort. That's 30-some houses a year. I'm just talking about doing this in 3 years. So if you want some life-changing numbers, I understand you all have passionate companies. You're passionate about what you do. What I'm trying to suggest is think a little bit bigger. If you think bigger where you say, okay, is there a company that is similar to mine that I could buy that would really leapfrog my company from where it's at, doing a transactional acquisition, be transformational in your lifestyle and your income, then you should do that. Or look at another company that you might want to own that you don't have to work in that still throws off the cash. That allows you to grow your passionate business. Does this make sense? If it does, just say yes. Okay. So let me share with you secret number one. You don't need to use any of your own money to buy a company or have your daddy give you a couple $1 million to get started like Donald Trump did. You don't need that. In fact, I'm going to share with you what I call our Business Master University, our blueprint. I'm going to do this in one slide. I'm going to go a little bit fast. So ultimately what we do is we negotiate profitable business directly with the owners for what we call good multiples. Typically, we buy a business between 1 and 3 times its net profit. Those are our numbers. So if a business is making $100,000 a year in profit, we're only going to pay $100,000 to $300,000 for it. I'll walk you through the math a little bit. I'll give you some actual numbers. Second step is we're going to get the owner to provide 50% financing on the business, and then they'll get a balance. They'll get that money paid off in between 5 and 7 years, what we call a balloon payment. But we get the owner to give us at least 50% financing. Third step is we triple the profits of the business with using some simple, proven, and predictable processes that go across different industries. We know exactly what to do. We're in multiple different industries around the world, not only in the US, but also in Canada, in Mexico, in China now, in Germany, in the UK, Australia, South Africa. We're all over the place. And the fourth step is we flip the business or take it public for at least a 3x multiple of that increased profit. What that means, let me kind of walk you through the math. We have $1 million business and it's doing $300,000 a year in profit, and I triple that profit from 3 to 9, that business will sell probably for about a 4 multiple. But I bought it at a 3 multiple. So if it was making $300,000 in profit, I'm going to buy it for about $900,000 max, but I tripled the profit from 3 to 9, and I'm going to sell it to the 9 at a 4 multiple, and 4 times 9 is how much? That's a question. 4 times 9 is 36. I'll sell it for about $3.6 million, even though I only bought it for a max of $900. By a round of applause, who thinks that's a good profit? Okay. And that's ultimately what we show you what to do. So here's a company. This is an architectural company. The sale price was $3.9 million, had gross revenues of $7 million, net profit was $1.3 million a year. Who here thinks that's a good profit? Just clap your hands if you think so. We ended up buying it for $3.2 million, no cash out of pocket. We went and raised investor money of $180,000, so we had none of our own cash out of pocket, and the investors got all of their money back in 12 months, plus they're continuing to ride on 8% of the profit for life. Do you think that's a good deal for investors? It's a great deal. Thank you for your support. And so ultimately, what that comes out to, that's over $100,000 a month in profit that you could spend or invest any way you want. Just by a round of applause, do you think this would make a difference in your life if you had an extra $100,000 a month in profit? These are the kinds of deals that we get all the time. Secret number 2 is the work, experience, risks, and time requirement levels that it takes to flip houses for pennies in the hood, like most people that do real estate investing, is no different than it takes to trade a business for millions of dollars in any area in the world. It's near zero. So in essence, I don't have to work in the company. One, I'm not qualified, and two, I'm too lazy to want to do the work anyway. So I find other people to do it for us, because you're not an expert, and each company we buy, and this is very important, I need everybody to really get this, I do not invest in startups. I used to be a serial entrepreneur starting up multiple seven-figure businesses, but it requires a lot of work. It requires a lot of capital. I don't have time for either one of those to put all the cash flow money into it. What I want to do is make sure I can find a company that already makes money today, already has the teams in place, and if it doesn't have the right teams in place, I have more than enough capital to hire the experts to come in and make the company grow. Every time I ask a company, and I need to ask it, I'll ask this of you guys as well, every time I ask a company, what do they need to make their company grow? They all say we need money. That's the answer. However, every company gets stuck in one of four ways. That's marketing, people, systems, which is automation, and money. They all think they need money in order to invest in marketing, people, or systems. But if you fix the marketing, people, and systems, it frees up the money. Most people just go about it backwards, unfortunately. So this is a drone company. Sale price was $900,000. It does $2.5 million in gross revenue. And how many are familiar with drones? You know, little aero drones that you can do video stuff like that? So these little smaller guys, not military drones, right? Small ones. And it was doing a net profit of just under $2 million a year. Purchase price was $450,000. We bought 75% of the business. Who here thinks that that's a pretty good profit or a pretty good deal? Well, clap your hands if you think it's a good deal. Okay. Cash out of pocket, well, we put $450, but I had no cash out of mine. Our investors got 10% profit. They're getting all their money back. This is an active deal. They get all their money back in less than 12 months, plus 10% of all the profit for as long as we own the company. And 10% of the future sale of the company when we sell it down the road. Is that a good return for everybody? Everybody's making money. Thank you. So again, it's over another $100,000. Third secret is I'm able to get about 100 times more average profits than a traditional real estate investor or stock investors or whatever company that you could think of by leveraging the business literally with no competition at all. And this is a wrong image here, but clothing brand company. This is an active deal we're doing right now. So we haven't completed this one. It's under contract. It was originally for sale at $3.9 million, gross revenues of $4.5 million, net profit of $1.3 million. We're picking it up for $3.25, so we're getting it at a slight discount. No cash out of our pocket specifically, but we're raising another $180,000 for 8% of the profit. I'm just curious if anybody would be interested in partnering on something like that with those kind of returns. Is there anybody in the room that's interested? Just clap your hands if you also have an idea. Okay. Well, these are the types of deals we have. We're in almost every industry you could think of except for cannabis. We're not in cannabis because it's not legal yet for funding. Not that it's not legal in different states, it's just for some federal funding programs we don't do that. So here's something I want to point out, is that limiting beliefs produce limited results. The biggest challenge that I've found for most people that holds them back is they say, well, Mike, you're an expert, you can do it, I can't do it. Well, I can certainly teach you how to do that. And by the way, would anybody, I like to give away free stuff. Would anybody like a free gift? Yeah. Okay. So at the table back there, you see my booth over there. It's not a fancy booth, but it's all the way in the back. It's right next to Nikki's booth, Nikki in pink. There's a little flyer. If you go to the link on the flyer, you can get my free book, which is called How to Buy a Business Using Its Own Cash. Free digital copy of the book. It's right there to walk you through all sorts of different examples I've already given you. You can take a look at it and take a read. It'll walk you through not only my examples and deals that we're working on now, but also other deals that other people have done from all different walks of life, whether you're male or female, white or black, Asian, it doesn't matter, young or old, it doesn't matter. If you have a desire to change your life, think about it a little bit differently. Most people think too small. What I want you to try to do is think bigger. And you know, the question that I want you to also ask is, well, say this to yourself, well, why not me? Why can't you buy a big company? Nobody said you have to have $1 million, or $2 million, or $3 million to buy a multi-million-dollar company. Most people get stuck because of fear, which is nothing more than false evidence appearing real. They let themselves get held back because they think, well, if I don't have all the cash to buy it, who's going to lend it to me? And nobody said that you had to go and come up with the cash. We have proven systems on how to do that. I'm happy to show you all how we do that. But I want you to think differently. What would your life be like if you were doing things if you were doing things where you had companies that you could buy yourself that would throw off the cash to live your lifestyle and to support your existing company, your passion project? Would life be different? Just say yes if you agree. Yes. Yes. So I know I'm kind of running out of time, so I'm going to actually end this a little bit early. And I want to have a little bit of fun with everybody. Is that okay? Do you all like to have a little bit of fun? Yeah. Okay. So everybody, do me a favor, everybody stand up for a second. We're going to have just a little bit of fun. I promise you're going to have a little bit of fun. Fun is good. Not Lady Gaga fun, but fun is still good. Okay? I have really enjoyed watching Lady Gaga on the stage. That was pretty good. So everybody, do me a favor. Everybody turn to the person next to them and say the following. I sure am glad that I don't look like you. That I don't look like you. I didn't say that was good or bad. You can make your own fun, right? It's just a matter of having a little bit of fun. You guys can all have a seat, right? Or just want to have a little bit of fun. Here's the thing. You know, I know I got just a couple of minutes, but is there anybody that has like maybe a question that I can answer? Because I went through this rather fast. Shout it out really loud so I can hear you, and then I will repeat it. So you have to invest more money to make money? Yeah, you do have to invest money in order to make a company grow. Absolutely. Here's the question. Where, in all my examples, do you think that money is going to come from? What did you notice about the three examples? In every deal we've ever done, what do you think is a similar pattern? That's right, I take it right out of my profits. If I have a company that's doing $1.3 million a year, do you think I need to spend $1.3 million a year to make the company grow? Or is there money in the business to make it grow, plus pay me a profit? There's more than enough left over. So that's why I don't do with startups, because why? They don't make any money. I'm only looking at companies that make money. Now, this is not purely a money issue, meaning that I'm not only in it for the money. I'm in it to make businesses grow, which means I hire people that influences lives and creates communities. Buying a business is about the people. Yes, it's about the numbers initially, but really, ultimately, you buy a good business because it has good people in there. And a business is growing. I don't want a company that's going down. I look at good, solid businesses. And if anyone were just to do a quick search on Google and you type in business for sale, you get a little over 1 billion search results. It's crazy the opportunity that's out there. And if you want to look for business in your niche, type in your niche, business for sale, or the niche that you're in and see what's there. I can take one more question. Anybody have a question? Sure, fire away. Most of the time I don't have to. However, well, let me repeat the question. The question was, do I have to fire people when I buy a business? And most of the time we don't have to, but sometimes that does occur. And what happens is, in some companies, there's always dead weight, especially in family-run businesses. Because they brought in families and family members. So for instance, we've had people bring us in specifically to help their company grow so that we could let go of the dead weight in the company. That was just the way it was. Doesn't mean it's necessarily a fun thing, but we all know when you hire the wrong kind of people, all the employees know that that person is not doing, they're not pulling their weight. And so it's pretty easy to find them out, and yes, they got to go in order to get rid of the bad apples so the company can grow. Sure, you're really loud though because I can't hear you.
Due diligence, how long does it take to check out the company?
Due diligence depends upon the size of the company. So if we're doing, most of these were in the $3 million range, so this will take about 30 to 45 days to do the due diligence. So we'll probably close in about 60 days, 90 days worst case scenario. So just by a round of applause, who would like to grow a multi-million-dollar company with no cash out of your pocket if you could do it in about 90 days or less? I know I said 6 months, but so think about it, right? Buy your own company, multi-million-dollar company. Somebody else runs the company for you. You essentially blend your company with the other company, and if that's happening, you've got good people running the company, are you working as hard as you did before? And the answer is no. So you work about 50% less by buying somebody else's company that already has all the pieces in place that you may be missing or can add to your existing company. So I just want you to think again. Think bigger. Most people think too small. If you're willing to think bigger, I want to hear a really big yes. Yes. Awesome. Thank you very much.